We're going to look at function composition and inverse functions. First of all, remember what an inverse of a function is. An inverse of a function is the function such that if you take f of f inverse of x, then you just get x back. And so here we have f of x equals 1/2 x cubed, g of x equals the cubed root of 2x, and we're supposed to find g of f of x. Now the question here, what do the results tell you, give us a hint that maybe these might be inverse functions of each other. If f of g of x equals x, then we'll know they are inverse functions of each other. So we need to find f of g of x. To do that, you look at f of x and you replace x with g of x. So f of x is 1/2 x cubed, but instead of x, we need to have g of x. Okay, so f of g of x is 1/2 g of x cubed. That's 1/2 g of x is the cubed root of 2x, and then we cube that. The cubed root function and the cubing function are inverses of each other. Since they're inverses of each other, they undo each other. So now I get 1/2 times, so the cubed root cubed just gives me what's on the inside, times 2x. So that's 1/2 times 2x over 1, the 2's cancel, and I just get x. So since f of g of x equals x, f of g of x equals x, this tells us that f and g are inverse functions. Okay, well, how do you find an inverse function? Let's say we want to find an inverse function. There are just a couple steps that you need to follow. So if we want to find the inverse of f of x equals 5x cubed minus 7, we want to find the function such that f of f inverse of x equals x. Essentially what that means is the x and the y's change places. So our first step, and this is always the first step in finding the inverse, is rewrite it with y instead of f of x. So I'll write y equals 5x cubed minus 7. My next step is to switch the places of the x and the y. So I'll have x equals 5y cubed minus 7. Now I need to solve for y. So I need to get y by itself. The first step when you're trying to solve for a variable is to get rid of the thing that's being added or subtracted. So I've got a minus 7, I'm going to add 7. So I get x plus 7 equals 5y cubed. Trying to get y by itself, so I'll need to get rid of the 5 next. So I divide by 5. So now I have y cubed equals x plus 7 over 5. Now I need to get rid of the cube because I need to get y by itself. The inverse operation of cubing is taking the cubed root. So I'm going to take the cubed root of both sides, and when I do that, the inverse operation of cubing is taking the cubed root, so I just get y equals the cubed root of x plus 7 over 5, and that's my inverse function. So I can write it like this: f inverse of x equals the cubed root of x plus 7 over 5, and that's my answer.